My name is Melissa Puentes, but most people know me as Mel. This is my true story. In 2016, a month after I started testosterone treatment, my wife divorced me and I moved up to a small town in Northern California, an hour away from Mount Shasta. A few years after I moved up here, I found out that Mount Shasta is the root chakra of the world, an energy vortex. I got a job at the town Walmart that was built on a Native American burial site and has a statue outside of a Native American Wintu Indian dancing. In fact, I came across an article recently that breaks down that Walmart is known to build stores on Native American burial sites across the country, not just in my own town. In mid-2016, I got the job at Walmart. 6 months later, I ended up leading a rebellion at work against management for unfair demands and treatment of my team. It ended up becoming a big ordeal in the community, and word was spreading within the town about what I was doing and that I wanted to take over the store and make some changes in the way it was ran and the way it treated its employees and the way it was involved in the community, since our small town knew Walmart as the biggest attraction in town. That's how small it is. Anyway, one morning in the middle of all this community and work-related affair, I was drinking coffee outside, and all of a sudden I got an electric shock that went throughout my brain and in a commanding voice told me that I was born to be the president. This was 6 months after Trump got inaugurated and became president. I walked into work and announced to my team that I wanted to run for president. And this is when the psychic ability started. I started hearing voices. I started going into trance-like states during my shift. I started seeing the darkness around customers and employees sometimes. And I started to feel intense power within me. And there were voices that were telling me future and current events before they were happening that became true. I would continue to get shocks of electricity in my brain and code words or statements that within a day or two would turn into news headlines, newspaper headlines, celebrity Facebook posts, and other uncommon, unexplainable phenomena. For instance, I was confronting a supervisor at work for mistreating my own mother, who was an employee. During that interaction, the electricity came through my head and a male voice said, "Mel is a straight shooter." That night I was watching the news on Fox News and the headline was, "Trump is a straight shooter." The same thing happened when Fox News headline said Trump is God's man and Trump is Rocket Man. They were talking about me. I psychically picked up on it. And because Trump was president and I was running for president while leading a rebellion against Walmart in town, I believed that I was being spied on and targeted, and my identity and character was being stolen and branded as Trump. Mind you, Trump's grandfather was involved in attaining Nikola Tesla's work and documents after Nikola Tesla died. Trump grew up hearing stories about Nikola Tesla from his grandpa. And I just so happened to feel electricity in my head, and I was psychically picking up on things that were related to me, about me, and then later on Fox News, it was as Trump. I continued for another 6 months. I became so distorted in my reality and so incredibly stressed out that I quit my job and left town in the middle of the night 6 months after I led the rebellion and ran for president and was being targeted. But when I moved to another state, people already knew who I was, and I was unaware that the word had traveled across state lines. I was unofficially famous, terrified, paranoid, and in what doctors would call psychosis. I was bullied by a lot of people. Men and women were verbally abusive to me, calling me stupid as they walked past me in the streets. I was attacked by 3 different males and almost beat up by a group of guys at a bus stop. I was terrified with my circumstances and completely unaware of the full extent at which things were going on. Not one single person filled me in at what was going on or even acknowledged me unless it was abusive towards me. Mind you, they also made music about me, and I was like the center of the universe because my desire for world peace. I was terrified with my circumstances. 6 years later, I am telling you only a portion of what I went through, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. During the last 6 years, I have not been okay. Not only with being bullied by the public that I wanted to help, but by feeling as though I was being targeted by the government, or at least by Trump, as well as civilians who were bullying me, and having my identity and character being stolen by a number of celebrities and musicians and politicians that I have witnessed over the last 6 years. I have been broke for the last 6 years, homeless for 6 months, and unable to work or cooperate with others, and also have been to 3 different psych wards and a handful of doctors and therapists that were unable to help me due to our reality being fabricated. They just call it schizophrenia and everything else. I also continue to have clairvoyance and psychic abilities that I will tell you about in another video, where I have predicted current events and other phenomena. After 6 years in hiding, I needed to come out about this. First of all, to honor myself, my story, and my mission. I do believe I am born to be the president, the first female and youngest president of the United States who strives for balance and world peace. I also believe I am meant to rule the world. This is my come out story, and I will continue to make videos about myself, my story, my psychic abilities, and my stance on world affairs. I know I already have people from all over the world following me on Facebook, and every time I post about politics or current events, I can see the direct correlation between what I post and what happens next in the world. I also can pick up on current events before they happen, as has happened many times. I have only used Facebook for most of my life, but I decided I need to expand. So, if you want to know more about me and what I stand for, and you want to be in the know, then like and subscribe and share my video, and stay tuned for more videos from none other than Queen of the World. Thank you.